Live, First Alert 4 starts now.
First at 6, a St. Louis family posing questions about a plea deal after a deadly shooting at a North City gas station. This is First Alert 4 at 6. I'm Corey Stark.
I'm Samantha Jones. Tonight, the shooting victim's brother, a prominent attorney, is calling out the circuit attorney's office. He says the deal is a direct result of hiring attorneys who were too scared to go to trial. This is John Christmas. Police say Travell Warren tried to take his gun last June, and after a struggle, he shot Christmas to death at the Crown Food Mart on North Kingshighway. After taking a plea deal today, he's only convicted of involuntary manslaughter and unlawful use of a weapon. He could serve up to 7 years in prison. First Alert 4 Investigates David Amilati spoke with the victim's brother.
Travell Warren's defense says it was an accidental shooting. The prosecution says it's a fair plea deal based on evidence. In court Tuesday, prominent criminal attorney Gerald Christmas sounded off as the victim's brother, saying the circuit attorney's office is sending a message that if you shoot a black person on the city's north side, you can get a plea deal.
It's ludicrous because they make it appear that he's a good Samaritan coming up to intervene.
Gerald Christmas not mincing words outside the civil courts building in downtown St. Louis after he says Travell Warren, the man who killed his brother John Christmas, got off easy.
Justice was not served. This was an injustice. For them to give him this type of sweetheart deal on a homicide means that the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office does not care about black victims.
He says the family was left in the dark about a compromise getting hashed out.
No, we weren't notified at all. We didn't get any notification until 24 hours before they were getting ready to do the plea deal.
There have been questions whether Warren should have been on the streets at all. According to court records, he served prison time for felonies in the past and was charged in April last year for 2 counts of illegal possession of a gun. Warren was released on bond and given a GPS monitor. Records show 4 reported bond violations stemming from that GPS monitor in May. He also missed a court date. Yet on May 31st last year, Judge Catherine Durker released him on bond with that GPS ankle bracelet. The circuit attorney's office did not contest his release. 2 days later, police say he killed Christmas, which is why his brother on Tuesday said the circuit attorney's office is a contributing factor in his death.
If Kim Gardner had done the same thing, same situation with a white victim, all hell would be breaking loose right now.
Christmas says the circuit attorney's office doesn't have concern for black victims and their families, and newer hires of the office are scared to go to trial.
You don't think that the people that Gabe Gore has been bringing into the office in the last 18 months or so are qualified?
That's why you have pleas going up, because they don't want to take the stuff to trial. They're not trial attorneys. And you need to be a trial attorney if you're going to be in the prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor Tim Wright said in court Tuesday the circuit attorney's office goes through a thorough process reviewing cases and making decisions with a committee with more than 106 years of prosecution experience. He said everything was vetted out and that this plea was the best they could come up with. Christmas says his message to victims and their families when working with the circuit attorney's office: stay on them.
Please make sure that you stand up and you speak out and you don't let them shove a plea down your throat the way they did to us today.
On Tuesday afternoon, we received a statement from Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore saying in part the plea agreement reached in this case was based on information gathered during the ongoing investigation. And after careful review by the most senior members of our trial staff, based on the facts and law, the plea agreement was an appropriate resolution of this case. You can find the rest of that statement online. Meanwhile, Gerald Christmas says he will be filing a civil suit against the gas station where his brother was killed. I'm David Amilati for First Alert 4 Investigates.